Hey, welcome to Women Who Builds. I'm your host, Preet Kershaw, my co-host, Andrew, and I'm here with Miranda today. So I've known Miranda for a very long time. She is the OG in insurance, I call her. She actually represents my company as well, and I've known her for such a long time, and she just knows insurance. And if you're a small business or you're thinking of starting out, or you've been in business and you need anything insurance, anything concerning insurance, she is your go-to person. So Miranda, tell us.
Tell you. I mean, there's so many things to tell about insurance. The one thing that absolutely nobody understands, nobody cares about, it costs too much. Should I keep going? That's why everyone's like, oh, what do you do for a living? I'm like, if I tell you, you'll run away. Because it's like, if you think about it, when you pay your insurance bill, are you happy? No, you get very angry. And that's the one thing that
But protection is very important.
It is. And especially in the construction space, specifically the New York construction space, it is literally the difference between bankruptcy and success.
Oh, 100%
as you
correct.
well know.
Yes.
So
New York is not an easy market. It's completely different. And having the right coverage for your projects, that's the one thing, that's the key right there, that every contractor needs on their job. And if you're not covered properly, there's a lot of liability. So having a good company like Alliant, that Miranda works for, that I've known as well, is very good to have with you on your company, representing your company. And what Miranda does is fantastic. Like, she does not cover anything. She will tell you as it is. And you better believe it. It is what it is.
Well, I think you said it perfectly. It's not only the insurance that you're having, but the support that you have. So the one thing I haven't known Miranda as long as you have. I've gotten a crash course over a short period of time. But the one thing that I know from Miranda is that she will protect, fight, and do everything for her clients.
Oh, yes.
I think
her.
Yeah. So with that is what makes the difference in insurance, is that the support staff that you do have.
And then having the company behind her too, which is really good. Like, I've had great experience. Yeah. So, and she knows her stuff. Like, we go to them for everything. So Miranda, today now with, all of this stuff happening in New York, with everything with insurance, like, what are important things for small businesses to have, like insurance coverage, especially construction company?
Well, I mean, the first thing you have to do, especially if you're a smaller company growing, and that's like kind of my jam, that I love investing in people. I'm like, I know I'm supposed to sell things, but I don't. I pick people and I invest my whole self, and that's who you want as a partner, right? Is I want to watch them scale and grow into something great. I mean, sorry, I'm going to name drop, but there's Skanska can't get any bigger. Can we get one that's like another Skanska that's owned by a woman, preferably a woman of color? That'd be fantastic, right? So I love getting really involved that way. But you really do need a partner that's going to invest in you, but also knows the game. And that's why I really, I drank the Kool-Aid at Alliant, as I say, and it's absolutely delicious. It is, because they've got just the right business model. And we are the largest player in the game for a reason, because we really understand construction, but we really understand New York construction. And it's like nowhere else in the world because of, we can get into a bit later, the laws here. But the first thing you want to do if you are a smaller contractor and you're looking at these large public jobs, or you want to be in public projects, is look at that contract. That is your first step. You'll see the insurance requirements. And this is where you need to have a broker who you can partner with, that you can trust.
Correct.
And there's, you want to find someone specialized, obviously. You want to ask other people that you admire, who do they use, right? I mean, because these are should be your strategic long-term partners, and you want to also have that same kind of partner. But so you look at those contracts, talk with your broker. Say, hey, do I have this? Do I not have this? How much will it cost for me to get this, right? So look, I have this. I have my clients, as you know, all the time. They're like, hey, we're thinking of bidding this job. It has this. And I'm like, okay, you got everything except for this part. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm thinking of bidding it. Well, how much will it cost me to get the thing? Just so I can put it in my estimate to bid. And I can usually give them some kind of like rough, indications. So they can be like, oh, well, it's only $150,000 job. This coverage is going to cost me $50,000. No way. Or they can put it in their bid and the owner says, I don't care, they'll pay for the extra, use it as a negotiation tool. So basically, really understand and look at those contracts of what you're signing.
Correct.
And have the good partners, like a good lawyer, like a good banker, like a good accountant, all of those things, like a good broker.
100%.
That is your team you need behind you. And when you have that, sky's the limit, man.
Actually, you just said something that was very interesting, and I don't think many people know this, but you just said, hey, listen, you can talk to the owner, you can talk to certain things, and you can actually, have some leeway. What's your thoughts on that? Because most times people think that whatever's in black and white, that's it. You can't even ask a question. You can't even.
No.
That's never the case. Yeah.
What's the saying? You miss 100%. You miss 100% of the time, the chances you don't take, right?
Correct.
Something like that. Yeah, it's the same thing. Yes, you can. And actually, as Preet knows, I just did a panel specifically on this. And you can actually, like I see this a lot. There'll just be, a lot of box checkers, especially if you're working with, very large firms. And they just say, oh, well, you need this, 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 this. And I'll be like, why are you asking for professional insurance, which is for like engineers and architects, for an electrician? Like, not applicable. Go away, right? Like,
that's a new thing now because I see it in every contract.
Yeah, well, it
before
depends.
It used to be like, they'll put it in there for like a different contractor, but now they put it there for
everything.
Yes.
And if you don't and then so people be running, they don't know what, again, goes back to reading the contract. Correct. They don't read it. They don't understand it. They just sign away. And then guess what happens at the end? Oh, you said you have this. Correct. You don't have this. Oh, well, guess what? You're in breach of contract. And that can lead to, we don't have to pay you.
Correct.
We can hold your retainage. We could go on about all the bad things if you don't look at it. Hence why I go back to the first thing to look at is understand those contracts. And that's what you need
100%.
again.
And you can go to, the owner of the GC. Well, not owner, but most, if you're a subcontractor, you go back to the GC and you let them know, we don't have this coverage, or you cross it off,
especially if you have a designation.
Correct.
They need you.
Correct.
You have more leverage than you think you do.
Correct.
And sometimes they'll waive things that they won't for others. Correct. Especially if you've done work with them, they like you. Especially those project managers, right?
Yes.
If they know that you're going to complete the job and you're going to, because that's what their bonus is based on, right? So if they know you're going to go and do good work at a good price and complete the job, they'll be a lot more flexible to get you on than you think. So you have more power than you think you do.
You think you do, exactly. It's true. It's true. And today now, I know a lot of companies don't carry action over coverage. That's like one of the big thing. How many people are you seeing out there that don't have the proper coverage?
You mean the private sector?
Oh my goodness, yes, we can go on.
Yeah, about the non-union private sector that pay their workers in Dunkin' Donuts, and then their insurance policy is a Snickers bar and a prayer. Yeah, that's basically what I call it. Yeah, pretty much. The owners are getting more sophisticated on the private side, but then you get some that just, I hate to say it, I've heard from some owners, it's more, you can't blame them. It's literally a financial decision where they just go for the lowest bid, which is usually, not having the proper, because having correct coverage for this, we can get into, I don't know how deep you want to get into the nerd rabbit hole of insurance, but okay, so we should really just say out loud. Okay, so in New York, we have New York Labor Law 240, 241, which is otherwise known as the Scaffold Law. It is unique to New York State and only New York State, which means, normally you have a worker that gets hurt on the job. They get workers' compensation coverage, and so they can't sue you because they get covered by workers' comp, and they give up that right to sue you because there's this other coverage in place. However, in New York, they have a special law that only New York has. So they can't sue you, but they can in construction, but however, they can sue everybody else for what's called unsafe working conditions, right? Correct. So that would be the owner, that would be the GC. And anything height related, insert penis joke here. That is what is considered height. And I'm not kidding. And so they can say like,
with you on that one.
Yeah, but it's with it's the terms absolute liability. So it does not matter if that worker went and smoked a bunch of crack at lunch.
Yep.
Seriously. And then went up and got on a scaffold and then somehow magically got dizzy and fell down and decided not to. Doesn't matter. They have the language which says absolute liability means doesn't matter who's at fault, you're screwed. So that's a unique thing to New York. So that's why they have what we call action over coverage, because they can't sue you. But again, in those contracts, you agree to defend, indemnify, and hold harmless all upstream parties. So what happens then? They can't sue you, but they can sue everyone above you. So but because you agree to defend and indemnify them, guess what? That gets pushed right back down onto you and your general liability policy, which then picks it up. And the average cost of these claims, because, it's very corrupt, that's a whole other segment. Yes. The average cost of these claims is about $1 million to $2 million. And they absolutely know it. And they'll be like, oh, I cut my finger, and then they magically get a spinal fusion, and then they settle with the insurance companies.
That's the going thing now.
Yeah.
It's the spinal.
It's 5 of them, not just one, 5 spinal surgeries. Yes. And so that's why it's so expensive, because who picks up the tab? All those liability carriers. They're all, I could go on a rant for a while. They'll have what's called minimum premium. And so, because it doesn't matter if there's one guy on one job site for 1 second and they fall, versus you'll have 1,000 guys on 1,000 job sites for 1,000 years and they fall. The claim costs the same $2 million. So think of it from an insurance carrier standpoint, right? They have a business. They have to have, they can't go out of business because, they're offering cheap for someone who doesn't do a lot. It costs them the same amount of money. So they cannot rate policies below a certain figure. So that's definitely good luck getting anything in New York for under, I don't care if you do $1 of revenue that has the proper coverages for under $150,000, $200,000. Good luck. Wow. Doesn't exist, right? Yes. You know this. And so now add that up for every single trade, every single person on every single job site to build a building.
Massive.
That's a lot. That's a lot. So, New York has a real problem. And I get to be the person who gets to say all the bad news, and I don't see it getting better anytime soon.
Right? I was just going to ask you that.
Yeah, no, I don't.
No,
I mean, I'm going to get canceled if I continue speaking about this.
No,
the unions are going to come for me. I mean, but yeah, there's some carriers like Tradesman, they just came out today of naming specific doctors. And did you see the one today?
I got the email.
Yeah, so it is evolving. There's some carriers fighting back. Whether Albany's going to listen, I don't think any politician will ever touch it with a 10-foot pole.
Wow, that's a big problem there. It's a big problem that needs to get fixed. It's not fair.
I think.
And what I think too is that these guys with these fraudulent cases, I don't think they realize when you make a claim, you don't hurt the insurance company.
Hurt everybody.
You are hurting that company. That company can go out of business because of a claim. So it is very important, for people to have that knowledge. I think a lot of people think it's just insurance. Oh, nothing happens to the business. The business is the one who suffer.
And also, too, is what is really the outcome? I mean, I've seen it throughout everything.
Yes.
Is, okay, I'm basically...
For how long?
I'm winning the lottery because I'm going to put in this fraudulent claim.
Yes.
But, I mean, there is obviously the opposite side that's going to fight that claim as much as possible. And it's not going to be a 1 month thing. It's going
to be years.
It's going to be years.
But they're still going to get paid.
The
judges are corrupt, too. Sorry, I gotta give all the bad news. I told you.
The lawyers know the judge. They know who's going to be on the case.
The judges are the plaintiff attorneys. They are the injury attorneys. That's sorry. Yeah, so it gets more delicious the more you look. Let me tell you.
I read that whole book of it, and let me tell you, that was very interesting.
I know,
very interesting.
At least it's getting some media attention. This year and end of last year, it is.
I just watched a YouTube video. One judge did disclaim a incident case. They were like, "Oh, you're okay to go see a game, okay, and you want how much million? Sorry, you're not injured. You are not injured for life.
Right.
If you can go to a game, you are okay to go to work."
Well, that's also the thing is that now for several years, the person who's trying to sue and trying to get this lottery money, that's how I call it, is now for a couple of years, you really focus on this. So now you never know when you're going to be watched by an investigator from the insurance, all these different things. So you change your life where there's actually real cases, somebody who really got hurt, who actually can't walk. And it's just why? Why waste that energy? Why waste that time?
Are you going to go there too? How they literally target undocumented people and they don't know, they literally have them sign. They'll actually recruit people, and what they do, oh God, I'm going to get canceled. They literally say, hey, fill out this job application. I'll give you like $500. And then they use that name, and then that becomes a suit. Oh yeah, no, I could keep going, girl. Yes. It's really bad. It's like dirty, literally when you read about like the Russian mafia, MS, whatever, 16 or whatever that, they literally are actually they are behind some of it. It's actually true. And I can say that with authority because some of the internal legal counsel at our firm has confirmed it. So yes, it is actually true. It's wow. That's why it's a RICO case.
Yes.
And
that's a big RICO case.
Yeah, that's why it's a RICO case. It's that bad. And they actually recruit people, so people who tend to be undocumented that aren't going to fight back.
Yes.
Wow.
Correct.
Yeah.
But more companies need to get on with the RICO case. I encourage that. More companies do.
We should get back onto how to actually protect it. We can rant about this for a while, which is pissing everyone off. But I'd say one thing, especially if you're smaller, you don't understand, like, if you don't buy this coverage and that happens to you, they're coming after you. You're the one paying.
Yes.
It's out of your own hopefully very deep pockets.
That's also personal liability as well.
Personal.
Correct.
They will come after you and your assets.
Yep.
If you don't have insurance.
So it won't even just it'll touch my business. Oh, my business will go. No, it's coming to you personally.
They're going to seize everything. Yeah. It takes a while, so people don't feel it immediately.
Correct.
But I mean, some of the big general contractors, they may hire them and they absorb it, but then they don't pay you for your work.
Yeah.
It's still a loss, no matter how you loss.
Yeah.
But insurance is there in case things go wrong, not for fraudulent things, in case things go wrong, because accident can happen.
Yeah, it does.
And it's there for those reasons.
Oh, 100%.
But when people take advantage of it, then it hurts companies.
It's not even that. It's when something does happen, but then they're exaggerated. That's even worse.
Yes.
Because something did happen, but then they exaggerate how bad it is.
It is, correct.
Because, they happen to go to, this just happened last week. I'm not even kidding. Someone was sitting in their car and they happened to have been hit by another car, but they were on the job, whatever. And this happened with another client of mine. They call me and they're like, first thing my client says, oh, we like the guy, but he said he is a lawyer. I'm like, oh God. So, the lawyer, they know the game. They're going to tell them what to do. And it's, even though it was one of their best employees.
Correct.
When there's that much money dangling in your face, what do you think they're going to say?
But once you hear the word attorney, just know where it's going. It is going nowhere better, but it's going to be a case.
So
that's it.
This is where I get to interject as from some of my expertise of how to defend yourself against these fraudulent claims. This is something that my firm does very well. Is we are a huge advocate for when something happens. This is how you defend yourself: is make sure that you document everything, but understand that everything is discoverable. Right? Correct. Text messages. You think you're helping yourself taking pictures? You might not be. Correct. Right? So phone calls only. Because you could be talking about the weather. They don't know. I mean, because everything you do, even if you delete it or not, is discoverable by the other party. So first thing I would do if something happens, I mean, if you need to call 911, call 911. Correct. Then your lawyer and broker, hopefully, you have a good one that's in there. Those are your first two calls. Because if you can get a lawyer there to do the documentation of pictures, then that is not discoverable by the other side. So, and I would interview everybody on the job site. Even if they say they know nothing, everyone you can say, okay, you saw nothing? All right, great. And even if they refuse to sign that, just put underneath refuse to sign, because then this is, again, what happens is, money gets flowing through certain hands. 2 years later, oh, wait, yeah, I did see something. But you'll be like, no, you didn't. I have this here. You said you didn't see anything and I recorded it. So you got to cover your behind a little bit and make sure that you've got it well documented of what happened, what the weather conditions were, if they were, because there's so many things that can get twisted. So in the moment, that's why you really need a great legal team, a great broker team to help you through that process. Correct. If something happened, so you're in the best possible position to defend these fraudulent and or exaggerating claims from the very first second.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's very important coverage.
And even do fire drills. Even do a fire drill, pretend something happened so everybody knows what they do, when to do it, what their role is. So like except a claim drill. So I guess.
What do you call? No, especially with that. I mean, every single podcast that you have, I'm literally writing down 1,000 notes because it really is a wealth of information.
Sorry, I nerd out too much.
No. No, but what do you, say in just general, what do you see as something that can easily be solved by doing a couple of different things? Say a small business owner wants that insurance, wants it, they're like, all right, I don't want to pay $150,000. Is there anywhere else, city agencies or something like that? I know with like the MTA, they have OSIP insurance, which obviously allows the contractor to have some. What other like tips is it for the small business that can't afford that $150,000 a year or something?
Well, this is the problem in New York, unfortunately. It's not going to get any better. Yeah, you can do OSIP work, but you still have to have other insurance.
Exactly.
And it's actually many people have that misconception that if you do OSIP or CSIP work that it's helping you. It's not, because it's taken away from, like, think about it. If you're buying a product, aren't you going to get a better rate if you buy in bulk? So you take that out.
Makes sense.
Like, I have a roofer right now, right? They have only $1 million to put as an arbitrary number of non-OSIP work. The rest is SCA. They still have to pay $250,000 because they're doing 10 million OSIP. So if they had the 10 million total non-OSIP, they'd actually be paying probably about the same, because you're paying for that amount anyway when you're bidding your OSIP. And
there are some people who confuse that if they have OSIP, they need nothing else. Also, they don't need any other GL coverage.
And that's why I was asking.
Clear that up. You do this. This is what you do. Like, it's not just because you have OSIP, you're fully covered.
No,
That's
you're not.
Case.
I actually have another client that had this misconception. You know what I'm talking about? I had another misconception. Oh, I don't need insurance. I'm an OSIP. I'm like, oh my God. I'd say the best thing to do to help yourself is, again, get a knowledgeable broker that can help you through the process. There are some loopholes, which I'm not going to disclose here, to get you through it. That I won't do, but maybe I know someone does. But because we does Alliant, we're very above board. Yes,
it's a great name.
But I'm saying, get yourself prove how safe you are.
Yes.
Get cameras on all your cars. Have a great safety program. Like, prove to because I'm the one who's selling you to these carriers to give you a good deal, right? Help me sell you. Like, prove like you have everything locked down every night. You have everything under surveillance. You've done like even when you have a driver for your car, right? Do once a week random spot checks with the supervisor. Like, prove how safe you are.
Correct.
So I can then show to the carrier, look at how much they've invested in their safety so that accidents won't happen. So if I can prove that they're going to be a lot more willing to, be negotiable on rates.
That's awesome.
Correct.
That's one of the best advice.
Everything any business right now needs to hear.
Get your cameras everywhere.
Correct.
if you can, so.
And lastly, beauty secrets.
Beauty secrets.
So what are you up to these days? I know you've been trying out a lot of stuff and you're looking gorgeous.
Yeah.
So tell us something that you're using.
What am I not using is better. Yeah. I don't, what am I not? I'm a big makeup lover.
Yes,
We've bonded over this, obviously. I mean, because, why would you have brown eyebrows when they could be duochrome?
There you go.
Like multicolored fun. I mean, I have a big love for indie brands and women-owned brands and sustainable brands. That's like my jam. But I mean, being outside, I used to work outside.
And you do go to job site as well, and
yes, I
everything
do.
stays on perfectly.
Yeah,
which is very important.
Yeah, I mean, I used to do manual labor before I did this, so definitely. I mean, big hats, good moisture, as you say, good sunscreen, those kind of things. But
so hard to find a good sunscreen today, but
I know another podcast all for that.
I know, right?
But
this has been fun.
Definitely.
Thank you, Miranda.
Of course.
I'm also going to share your information at the bottom of this video. So anybody who wants to get in contact with Miranda, you need help with your business, with insurance needs, she's your best girl.
No, definitely. Thank you. Wealth of information again.
Thank you for being with us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yeah, love you. Have you again soon.
Sure.